welcome to WHSH TV. I'm Brooks Robinson, and with me is Kane Fox. Then this week we will be talking about e-learning, and spring break starts Friday. And with that, we have with us Assistant Superintendent with a brief rundown on what will happen tomorrow. Also, a food delivery service is coming new over town, and we will have more details on that.
In sports, the big dance is in full swing starting today. We will talk NCAA basketball and matchups. We will talk about the boys' state final matchups in Indianapolis, which includes a pair of Southwestern Indiana teams. And in the hallways this week, we will get students' take on e-learning day tomorrow.
All that and much more. It's Friday, March 21st, and you're watching WHSH TV.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Thanks for coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
A new food delivery service has started up in Washington. The food Frogger will deliver food for many local restaurants, offering restaurants more than pizza options for home delivery. We spoke with one of the delivery drivers, Jeff Guimont, to find out a little more about this popular service in Washington.
Food Frogger is a new app in town. It's basically a food delivery service. You can order food from your favorite restaurant and Food Frogger will deliver it. Food Frogger's been in Washington about a month. It started down in Florida. It's in Georgia. It's slowly migrated up to Washington, Indiana. The delivery fee started at $2.99, and there's a step-up scale depending on how far you are from the restaurant you order from. We are adding restaurants weekly, if not daily. We're getting more on board every day. Right now we're at 13 or 14. Basically, the public opinion is what it is. When we deliver food, the customer says, hey, we'd like this restaurant or this restaurant. Restaurant owners, when they find out about us, they've come to us and say, hey, we want to be part of your program because we want our food delivered. Food Frogger was born from the founder of Food Frogger lived in Florida at the time, and his parents were homebound and ill, and he had an idea of how do I get food to my parents while I live in Florida. So that's how Food Frogger idea was started. If you want to use Food Frogger, if you want to order food from Food Frogger, just download the app, Food Frogger, or go to foodfrogger.com, and all the instructions are there. There's a list of the restaurants. It's pretty simple. You go to the restaurant, you click on the menu. We've got all of their menus downloaded. You click on what you want, it sends it into the cart, you order the cart, you pay with your credit card, it sends it to the driver's app, it tells the drivers where to go and where to bring it to. It's a pretty simple process. If there's a restaurant that wants to be involved with us, just go to foodfrogger.com and there's a link there for restaurants. If you'd like to be a driver for Food Frogger, if you're 21, you have a car, you have a license, you have insurance, there's a link for drivers. We desperately need drivers as well to deliver all this food.
Food Frogger now has a time of deliveries from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Go home tonight and download your Food Frogger app and place your order at home for tonight. Washington Community Schools will now unveil the first e-learning day for the students tomorrow. Students will not have to report to school, but they will have assignments to complete at home on Google Classroom. Assistant Superintendent Kevin Frank says if students have trouble with internet access to get to the assignments, there will be other options.
Soon. I think the biggest pro for an e-learning day is like we've seen here in the last week when you have winter weather in Indiana, and it can come and basically shut you down for multiple days. The e-learning day format allows you to kind of continue that flow of learning. Where, especially in our secondary grades, the junior high and the high school, where those students are already using Chromebooks on a daily basis, teachers are already utilizing Google Classroom and G Suite. It shouldn't be that big of a stretch that teachers could put an assignment online through Google Classroom, and students can access that to complete. Some of the challenges would be not everybody has Wi-Fi, not everybody has internet at home. For our elementary students, we do not have students take Chromebooks home. So the cons are not everybody is going to have the same type of access. One thing that we're looking at doing is partnering with some of our community organizations like the library, some of our restaurants, and making their names known to you, the students, to where you can go on an e-learning day if you do not have internet access.
If the students do not turn in their assignments on the designated day, they will continue absent for the e-learning day. If the system works, Washington Community Schools will be using the next year for snow days. They will not have to make up in the spring break. The Hatchet House was rocking last weekend with the 1A and 4A semi-state championships. The gym was packed with over 7,000 people in the basketball place. With first-year books, the new Hatchet floor, we spoke with a couple of senior players to get their take on the brand new floor.
One thing I like about the new floor is that, it's a newer and sleeker design, but it still resembles a lot of the old court. So, it doesn't feel completely new, but with a better design.
I like the new design of the court. I really like how Coach did it, and I like how it's lighter than the older court. The older court was pretty dark, and I just like playing on the lighter court, and I think it's pretty special that we got to play on this new court, and we're going to be the team to always be remembered as the team to play on this first court, the new court.
One thing I liked about the old court was just the history that came with it. There was a lot of playoff games and great players that played on the old court, so it was fun to be able to, play on that court along with some other great players. So
the one thing I like about the old court is probably just the memories it has with it, all the great teams and players that have came through there and played on it. And it was honestly kind of different playing this year on the new court because I've just grown up watching all the games and all the tournaments here on the old court. But I think it's a good change for our school and our team, but I'll definitely miss the old court.
I'd have to say this court just because we were the first team that got to play on it, so it's kind of extra special to our team, so I'd have to go with the new one.
It'd probably be this court just because we were the first team to play on it, and I like the new design. And I think it adds to our gym, having one of the best gyms in the state. I think the new court really makes it stand out.
One thing I like about the new...
All right, boys basketball state finalists will be playing in Indianapolis this Saturday. and we will have more on the matchups coming up in sports.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Get your ass out. You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move.
Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to WHSH. I'm Kane Fox, here with your weather. For the current conditions, today it's mostly cloudy with a high of 48, and tonight will be clearer skies with a low around 33. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high around 50 and a low of 28. Those are your current conditions here on WHSH.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Washington High School has sent a record of 21 students to the BPA State Conference. BPA stands for Business Professionals of America. All whom did well in the 9 students that earned the right to go to Nationals, which is in Anaheim, California. You have Matt Heacock, Jacob Davis, Isaac Barnard, Addie Murray, Jackson McCracken, and they are all for Washington, and we are proud to report the broadcasting news team from WHSH is also making the trip. The group includes Peyton Summers, Jade Browning, Cannon Shake, and Wade Francis. The sponsors for the club is Brian Hancock. The students will be working on fundraisers to help pay for the trip out west. Congratulations to the Washington BPA students. We here at WHSH are begin a series of interviews this week of the highlight Washington Community Schools have chosen by Washington. We have spoken to several community members to get their feedback on this topic. This week we spoke to Sarah Browning with Edward Jones, who says she is proud to have 3 students enrolled at the elementary school and high school.
I think one of the things that I look back on my education at Washington, and I appreciate how prepared I was then to go on to college. I could take the path that I wanted to take, even way back then. It allowed me to pick and choose what I was interested in, and the foreign languages. I tested out of a lot of things, and I know that a lot of that goes back to having good teachers and having a lot of options and being able to make those decisions to get me ready for my next step, which was college, and then ultimately the career that I'm in. So, you know, one of the things is you have an allegiance, I guess, to your school. I mean, I enjoyed my time, whether it was I went to elementary school at North Elementary, I went to the junior high here, I went to the high school, and I know so many of the teachers now, and some of them I don't, but they have been wonderful. I have a senior all the way down to a 3rd grader right now, and a daughter in the junior high, so I get to see all aspects of it, and I continue to have my kids there because of the education that they're getting and the teachers that they're having the opportunity to learn from. I believe the technology at the school is wonderful. I remember, my job, I guess when I went to college, I remember having, and they think this is hilarious, but I remember having a computer lab where you had to kind of check in and you had to pay for your copies and had to go through those things. They're like, you didn't have your own laptop. And now the kids come home with Chromebooks and they know how to do all of the things on the Chromebook. I remember my daughter at some point, maybe 4th or 5th grade, came home and was showing me her PowerPoint presentation that she was doing for, I think, one of her history projects. And I thought, my kids are doing things that I am still learning how to do. So I think it's wonderful, the things that they've got access to and that they're learning through technology.
Browning's son Bryce is a senior here at Washington High and just finished up his successful career playing basketball for the Washington Hatchets. Thank you for sharing, Sarah. This week is our movie review with Clint Ivey. We will discuss the record-breaking thriller Captain Marvel in theaters now.
Clint's movie review.
Hi, I am Clint Ivey, and this is your weekly review. This week we are going to be reviewing the box office hit Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the final Marvel superhero movie before the huge Avengers Endgame movie that releases at the end of April. I watched this movie over the weekend, and I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be bad because of the reviews. I had read and heard, even though it didn't sound too good, I went anyway, and I wasn't disappointed. For those of you that don't know too much about this movie, I will explain what it is about. Captain Marvel is portrayed by Brie Larson, a popular actress known for her roles in 21 Jump Street and Kong Skull Island. Captain Marvel's real name is Carol Danvers. She was an Air Force pilot when a crash caused her to obtain powers that make her almost nearly impossible to stop. In the film, she jumps from planet to planet. If you've watched the trailer, you know she goes to Earth for a majority of the movie. I will say the movie wasn't perfect. It had its flaws. For example, some of the movies had some movie scenes were boring. But like I said, this movie did not disappoint. It contained many action scenes and a lot of drama that made it into an overall great movie. If you're a big fan of superheroes, this is definitely a movie to watch. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it an 8.3 stars out of 10 stars. I would give it a weird rating like normal, but I just don't feel like it. I'm Clint Ivey, and that is your weekly review.
Captain Marvel is in theaters now and is continuing to rack up money in the box office. The Washington Golden Pride Winter Indoor Percussion Team recently finished with a 4th place in their division. The finish was very respectable and deserved. All students and parents and instructors spent weeks working on the show. The band performed before the students' body last Friday and did a special community performance last night. Congratulations to the indoor percussions team on a great season. Coming up after the break, we will have a more detailed look at the latest in sports this week with Kane Fox. You're watching WHSH TV.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
What if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
The IHSAA boys basketball tournament moves into state play on Saturday. 2 teams will be competing and representing southwestern Indiana. The Barre Vikings are searching for their 2nd state title in 1A. Standing in the way will be Fort Wayne Blackhawks, who did deliver the Vikings one of their only 2 losses this season. Tip-off for the game is at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. In Game 2, the Linton Miners will be searching for the championship as they meet Adrian. Game 2 will tip off at 12:45 p.m. and tickets for the morning session games will be $15. And the night session Saturday night at 6 p.m., Culver Academies will play Silver Creek for the 3A championship, and the 4A game will have Ben Davies facing Carmel. The state finals will be at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Washington Hatchet baseball team will kick off their 2019 season with the annual Black and Gold game at the sports complex. The baseball team has a lot of returning players off a team that claimed a sectional championship. Come out and see what the team has in store for the upcoming season. First pitch is set for 5 p.m. The big dance begins today as the 2019 NCAA tournament is in full swing. Some of the early matchups are already underway. Minnesota knocked out Louisville in the opening game. LSU is leading Yale late in the second half. Other games underway include New Mexico State is facing Auburn. Florida State has Vermont. Bradley is playing Michigan State. Belmont is playing Maryland. Northeastern will play Kansas, and Murray State will square off with Marquette. Duke, Gonzaga, Virginia, and North Carolina hold the top seeds in each division. Let the games begin. Did you fill out a bracket this year? Here are some interesting stats on the perfect bracket for the 2019 tournament. The odds of filling out a perfect bracket with every game correct is 1 in 9 quintillion. That is a 9 with 17 zeros. Let's break it down a little further. There are 7.5 quintillion grains of sand on Earth. Imagine being given one chance to pick out a single specific grain of that sand somewhere on the planet. And nailing it, your odds of doing that are still 23% better than filling out the perfect bracket. But you still do have a chance. The Indiana Hoosiers opened with a number one seed in NIT tournament on Tuesday. The Hoosiers defeated St. Francis 89-72. Indiana moves on to the second round and will now face Arkansas coming up on Saturday. And a sad note in sports today, we learned this week of the passing of Major League Baseball great Chuck Harmon. Harmon was a member of the state basketball champions team at WHS and went on to become the first African American to play professional baseball with the Cincinnati Reds. The local Little League here in Washington was renamed Chuck Harmon Youth League in honor of the Washington great who left a big legacy. Harmon was 94 years old. And that is a wrap for sports this week. Reporting for WHSH TV, I'm Clint Ivey. We'll be right back after this.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back to WHSH. I'm Cam Fox here with your extended outlook. So here in the east, there's a low pressure system, and it's going to be after that will be some sunny skies, and there's going to be some clouds in Indiana. And over here in the west, there's a high pressure system heading in. It will be heading towards Indiana this Sunday. And that is your extended current conditions. Today it's mostly cloudy with a high of 48. Tonight will be clear skies with a low around 33. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 50 and a low of 28. Your weekend outlook, it'll be Saturday, it'll be sunny with a high of 52 and a low of 36. Sunday, a chance of showers with a high of 58 and a low of 45. And next week, rain to start the week with clear skies to end this week with a high of 56 and a low around 30. That is your extended outlook here on WHSH. We'll be back with Hallway Beat.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good? Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
As we wrap up today's show, we will head back into the hallways to find out what students' takes are on e-learning.
Heck yeah. Liz.
Yeah.
What's your humble opinion on e-learning this Friday?
I like it because I can sleep in.
Sleep in. There you have it. Dear Howard, e-learning is this Friday.
Yeah, it is.
What are your opinions?
Well, I think it's just a great thing the school did there, honestly, because I'll just wake up at 6 o'clock, do it before I go work out, and I just go get some gains.
I like the idea. E-learning. McGuire Heacock, what are your humble opinions on e-learning?
Well, Colin, can I start off? It feels great to be back. It's been about 2 weeks. And
it's a blessing.
I love being back on the hallway beat, but my thoughts on e-learning, it's phenomenal. I wish we could have more assignments on e-learning than what we get, because I think only 1 day of assignments and having 4 days to complete it is just too much leeway for students. I think we should have days worth of assignments so people like me can get their studies on.
I feel that. Layla Wolf.
Yeah.
E-learning Friday. The 22nd. What's your humble opinion on it?
I mean, I think it's kind of stupid, but that's just my opinion.
Harsh. Joseph Bedwell.
Yeah.
What are your humble opinions on e-learning this Friday?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Colin. I think it could really work out. I feel like a lot of students are kind of jaded on the whole subject, and they don't really want to participate in it, but I feel like in the future this could really lead to some really good opportunities in cutting down our snow days, and maybe once we could feel like a family again at WHS. Thank you so much for your time, Colin.
WHS Pride. So for the final interview, we're here with Mr. Dwayne Shake, the teacher and director here for radio and TV class. Mr. Shake, what are your humble and thoughtful opinions on e-learning? Thank you for the opportunity.
So Brooks, what are you doing for e-learning?
Actually, I cannot participate in e-learning because during a game of quizzes, I got very upset and broke my Chromebook.
Well, Brooks, I hate to hear that. I'm going to be like a good student and do my work and not have anger issues like you do.
Yeah, I have a lot of anger issues. On behalf of everyone here on WHSH campus, thank you for joining us on this episode, and have a great weekend. We'll see you all here in 2 weeks after spring break on WHSH TV.